showed, especially on climate change, heat, drought, all these things going to happen. Does this document have posterity? Is it looking forward, like to look at things like catastrophes in case a pandemic comes? Is that sustainable?
Absolutely, we are looking at all that. You looked at the COP in Dubai, COP in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. You know, you're familiar with the Loss and Damage Fund. That is a key fund that has been advocated by developing countries through the G77. You know, Uganda, again, I've said it before, is the first country to chair both NAM and G77. G77 is very active in the negotiations in COP. We achieved a lot in Sharm el-Sheikh and in Dubai. Now the Loss and Damage Fund is going to be institutionalized and implemented under our chairmanship, and we will make sure that money is easy to access in the case of a catastrophe by member states. We're also looking at pandemics. Azerbaijan did well on COVID. They have set guidelines on how developing countries can develop vaccines, access medicine, and PEP when there is a pandemic.
This afternoon we jump into the G77 plus China there. What are your aspirations and what should we hope to achievements at the end of it?
We're going to quickly adapt the outcome document. We're going to negotiate, but I'll make sure that the negotiations are as efficient as they were in NAM. Yes. And then we have an outcome document today ready for the summit on 21st. Any
sneak peeks you can give us in both documents that we can be able to look at and hold you accountable?
Everybody was watching the situation in Gaza. Everybody, how NAM, we have really expressed solidarity with the people of Palestine, that the situation is unattainable. We focused on the ceasefire, humanitarian assistance, but we avoided divisive language. The achievement is that we really encouraged the case of South Africa to go to the court so that the court can determine whether there is genocide or not. This forum is political, is not judicial. I was able to convince member states that we don't need to go there. And I think that was the greatest achievement. We will be respected as now. That we stood here, people thought it was going to be slogans, condemnation, accusations. No, we focused on the issues, which is people dying in Palestine, killings have to stop so that there is peace. The other issues I show they are important. Let's wait for the court. And South Africa has really done well by taking the lead. And within a week, we will know. Fasten your seatbelts. Once the court pronounces itself, NAM will pick it, and we will talk about it and implement it in the UN.
Lastly, Ambassador, when we look at conflict, what is causing the conflict globally, and will NAM be able to give guidelines on member states not to be able to interfere with the independence of others and the sovereignty?
Absolutely. When you look at the Kampala political declaration, we are talking about peaceful settlement of disputes. We are talking about non-interference in internal affairs of member states, and those are the principles of NAM that have kept it together, and we will continue pursuing them.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. We really appreciate your time here, and thank you for the documents and leading us well through this summit there. We hope to see you this afternoon in G77.
Thank you. Anytime.
So that was His Excellency Ambassador Adonia, and we have been discussing.
Well, that was earlier on today during the continuation of the ministerial meetings. This afternoon, the G77 Third South Summit of Senior Officials was opened by the PS4 Foreign Affairs Ministry, Vincent Bajire. Now a bit about this third summit. It's under the theme Leaving No One Behind, and it looks to bring a new dynamic to the cooperation among its 134 member states of the group of 77. Of course, you could hear Ambassador Ayabade say more about the negotiations that the group of 77 does. The summit aims at boosting South cooperation, including in the areas of trade, investment, sustainable development, climate change, poverty eradication, and digital economy. More delegates continue to stream in. So far, 1,069 have jetted in from 116 countries. We have been giving you those updates as these presidents and other delegates coming earlier on. Tanzania's Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa arrived this afternoon to represent President Samia Suluhu. This is at the Non-Aligned Movement Presidential Summit that will take off tomorrow at Speak Resort Munyonyo. Kassim Majaliwa touched Entebbe International Airport. That's at about 12:45 today in the company of top Tanzanian government officials. The incumbent Prime Minister was appointed by the late President John Magufuli. He took the office on 20th November 2015. Excuse me. Majaliwa was first elected to Parliament in 2010 general election on the Chama cha Mapinduzi ticket from Rungua. He was Deputy Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office for the regional administration and local government. That's from 2010 to 2015. Still with his political career, in the 2015 general election, Majaliwa was re-elected from Ruangwa, defeating Omari Makota of the Civic United Front by a margin of 31,281 to 25,536 votes. Also, among others that arrived this afternoon is the Speaker of Oman, Khalid Al-Mawali. He serves as the chairman of the State Council of Oman. Excuse me. This is the legislative body in the country. Oman is a country located on the southeastern corner of the Arabian Peninsula in Southwest Asia. And it is an absolute monarchy, and Sultan Qaboos bin Said Al Said has ruled the country for almost 50 years. The country for almost 50 years until his death in 2020. Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived this afternoon. He has been a prominent figure in Sri Lankan politics for several decades and served as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka multiple times, with his political career spanning various ministerial positions. On 20th July 2022, Ranil was elected as the 9th president via an election by Parliament. They will be attending the G77 Summit. The Group of 77 is a coalition excuse me, of developing nations of the United Nations, and its member countries collaborate on economic and development issues. Obviously, Sri Lanka is a member of the G77. And as a member, it collaborates with other developing nations to address common economic challenges, promote sustainable development, and enhance economic cooperation. Now, G77 member countries often work together to advocate for their collective interests, especially concerning development goals, poverty reduction, and social progress. The Group of 77 provides a platform for its members to voice their concerns on the global stage and engage in discussions with developed nations on issues such as trade, finance, and technology transfer. We also expect the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to arrive later today. Earlier on in the day, also Vice President Namibia arrived, as well as President of Equatorial Guinea and Kenyan President, who will be attending the IGAD 42nd Extraordinary Session of the IGAD Assembly of Heads of State and Government, taking place at State House.